Hello, everybody, and welcome to your solo training. Thank you so much for joining us in the many parts of this training. And today I'm really excited to talk to you about RISE, or the Risk Intervention and Safety Education Office here at Texas Tech. I am our program manager for peer education and outreach. And with that being said, I want to make sure that you all understand how to access a lot of the information that is available on our website and is always available at your fingertips. So today, our training is going to look a little bit different than maybe some of your other trainings you're having to go through, because we want to take you through our website, because this is going to provide you with a lot of information and give you a resource to come back and visit in case that you don't remember all the things from this particular training, so that you're familiar with what is available to you. All right, so as we begin talking about RISE, we want to show you what it looks like when you open up our website. So RISE at ttu.edu, super easy to find. And the first thing that's going to pop up is this Are You in Crisis button. This Are You in Crisis button is important because a lot of students and folks come to our office in crisis, or they are seeking help for something that is time sensitive, or they're needing support in that moment. So if you are in crisis, you can click this button and that'll take you to reports. And then this also tells you about our crisis helpline, which is available to Texas Tech students 24/7, 365 days a year, whether you're on campus or not. This is a really great resource for you as students to know that this is available to you and that there is a trained mental health professional on the other end, ready and willing to assist you in whatever need you might have. All right, so if you're not in crisis, you can go ahead and close this little box, and you're going to be shown a lot of pictures from RISE peer eds over the years and different RISE staff, and give you a good idea of what it looks like to come to a RISE event. So as we scroll down a little bit, we find out right here that RISE is the one-stop shop for all things student wellness. It is our mission to empower Texas Tech students to live your most vital, meaningful life. And the way we want to empower you is through prevention education and holistic well-being strategies. So we do that in a variety of different ways. But essentially what that means is, if you're a student at Texas Tech, you can come to us at the RISE office whenever and for whatever situation you might be going through. You can also DM us on social media, you can call our office, or you can pop into our office at Drain Hall, suite number 247, and we can also provide support that way. So if you do choose to come to our office, because maybe you're going through something that you're not quite sure how to handle, or maybe you just don't know what resources are available to you, well, we are going to make sure that you are connected to the proper resource. If one of our services matches what you could use in your situation, we have tons of services for you. But if not, we can get you connected to the correct service and the correct person efficiently and effectively. So when we go through this, we talk about a couple different things that are an asset to you. First is these RISE drop-in support hours. So you can see all of our lovely peer educators here who are very extensively trained in prevention education, and the best part is they understand what it's like to be a student and to be trying to balance work and life and sleep and school and all the other things you as students are asked to stay on top of. So if you ever find that you need a little extra support, or maybe you just want to talk through something with a peer ed, this is available to you. And we will always have these updated, and there will always be a morning time and an afternoon time, and it will rotate each day of the week so that we can accommodate as many student schedules as possible. So this is our drop-in support hours. Going back to our main page, If you're looking for resources, and that's the main reason why you came onto our website, you can click this resources button and it will take you over here, which I'll explore and explain all of this with you in just a few minutes. Another reason students frequently reach out to our office is because they have a hold on their account. So if you have questions about a hold that's on your account, it is probably for these Voices for Change modules. This goes into the explanation that this is a state mandated course that all students during their very first semester here at Texas Tech have to complete. Otherwise, a hold is going to be put on their accounts. So you can log into it right here, and then any other questions that you might have can be answered right here. And if for some reason your question is not answered on this page, you can always call us, email us, or reach out to us on social media. Essentially, if you are worried about connecting to these Voices for Change and you're not sure what it is or how to get more information on it, like I said, feel free to call us. So back on our page, we can see that you can also get to that Voices for Change page right here by clicking this big square. And then you can also find our Rise Peer Educator blog, which I'll show you a bit in a few moments. But right here at your fingertips. We also have Rater Restart and Rater Recharge, which we will go into those in a few minutes as well. But let's finish exploring this main page. If you're interested in signing up for a monthly newsletter or you want to learn more about free events, food stickers, and more, you can sign up for that newsletter right here. If you're looking for quick links for support resources, we have several of them posted here at the bottom of our main page. So Togetherall, Rater Recharge, which is our wellness coaching, TELUS, Therapy Assistance Online, Rater's Report, and the Student Mental Health Community. If you're looking for different ways to get in contact with us, we have our social medias here, we have our address, our phone, and of course, our email. So let's scroll up to talk about Rater Restart. So Rater Restart and Rater Recharge are two services that we offer here in our office. Rater Restart is going to be a harm reduction substance use coaching course. And typically this course is completely free for students to come and take. So if you notice that you are starting to have an issue with alcohol or drugs or any other substance and it's starting to interfere with your life, maybe it's affecting your sleep, maybe it's affecting your grades, whatever that case is, you are more than welcome to come sign up for this class completely free. However, if you are referred to this program from the Office of Student Conduct, then there is a fee associated, which you can learn more about here. However, if you are looking for Rater Recharge is one-on-one individualized wellness coaching. Now, we don't do any counseling in our office, but we do wellness coaching. So it's important to know that this is completely voluntary and it is always free to Texas Tech students. You will meet with one of our graduate students and talk about your wheel of wellness and see what areas are starting to affect you and maybe drag down your wellness so that we can hopefully get your wheel back up and turning efficiently. There is a note about our cancellations, and then to schedule a meeting, this is where you go to find all of that information about upcoming classes and availability. So that kind of wraps up our Rater Restart, Rater Recharge information, which is another reason why students get in contact with us. So when we talk about our campus-wide reach, whenever we're talking about what we do here at Rise, we have several different things. So Voices for Change, we already spoke about. Substance use coaching, Rater Restart and Rater Recharge, we just went over. Monthly events. So obviously these are going to change monthly. And so what is updated here now is from October, and October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which is one of the large awareness coalitions that we participate in. So you can scroll down and find all of the different outreach opportunities that we had in the month of October. So you can always find out what's going on this month through that link. Next, I want to talk about RAD, or Rape, Aggression, Defense, Self-Defense Training. So you can see some of our really amazing RAD instructors suited up and learning how to better support our students. And then you can find more information about how to register and sign up for a training. So we do offer RAD classes for women and for men. However, we do have a place for everybody. So if you're not sure what class to attend, just reach out to me and we'll figure that out. Once you have attended a basics class, then what opens up to you is our adverse dynamic simulation course. We have two different versions of simulation, and one would be the basic simulation, which is where you get to use all of the techniques and skills that you have learned in the basics class in a simulation course that you would be suited up like we see our friends up here being prepared for. This is a completely controlled environment and is completely safe. However, it can help use those techniques and help out if you've never been in a situation like that, to kind of get used to what that might be like, so that if you are, and hopefully you are not ever in that situation, but to better prepare yourself. Once we finish a basic simulation, we also offer an advanced simulation, which is where we will go in and mess with the environment and have you run through a couple more scenarios that are a little bit more intense with a difficulty level. So there's lots of different information, how you register for those classes, and all of that right here on this page. We already talked about RISE drop-in support hours, so if you're looking for another way to find it, you can find it right here. When we start talking about requests, and RISE does receive a lot of requests, we can offer presentations, workshops, or resource tablings to pretty much anyone on campus. If you would like to bring us out for your student org, that's absolutely an option. We just want to make sure that you're requesting 2 weeks in advance so that we can do our best to accommodate that request. This is what you would need to fill out and all the information we will need to know if when we are looking to approve or disapprove your request. You can find our list of programs here, and this has tons of information and a few slides on what's going to happen in each of the presentations and what they will be over. We typically offer 50-minute presentations or 90-minute presentations, and we have tons of different workshops that can be requested. If you are looking for a passive education or goodie bags, you can click here, and this is where you would request for that goodie bag. You can also download posters right off of our page, as you can see here. You can request to have these printed off and packed for you if you would like, but they're also here for you to download if you would just like to download it and print it yourself. Then if you are requesting an interview, whether it be maybe for you're part of the Daily Torador, or maybe you are doing a project for class or something like that, you can request an interview with one of our RISE representatives. And once again, we have another form to fill out to make that process as smooth as possible. Then we move into our digital outreach. So I mentioned earlier the blog, and here is what that blog page looks like. So as you can see, we have a bunch of different blogs, and these are all written by peer educators over the years. The blog was started in 2020 and has since grown. So you can click any of these keys and they will take you to that blog. I highly recommend checking these out. It's just an easy, no pressure way to learn about a whole bunch of different things, such as getting your best night's sleep, or the stigma of STIs, or seasonal affective disorder, or real homies don't haze. So as you can see, there's a lot of different topics and a lot to explore here on this side of the page. We also have our social media, so you can find all of our handles here. We are extremely active on all of our social medias, especially our Instagram. We have a Rise Instagram, and then we also have a Peer Ed Instagram. So make sure you're following both of those accounts. And then I already showed you this downloadable educational poster gallery. So this is another way to get to that. How we do it is all about Rise and the theory. So I told you a little bit about our mission and our vision and how we want to empower students to live their most vital, meaningful life. If you have question about what is Rise, you've got that information right here. And a look at how our framework ends up looking like. So we use something called the social ecological approach to implement health promotion and prevention education. So you can see through this ripple effect of how our education affects the world, but also this is very indicative of how each of you as a student also has influence on our society. So you will make an impact on the world, but it is up to you to choose if you're going to make a positive or a negative impact. And as knowing that you are a Red Raider, I am betting on that being a positive impact. If you want to know about our dimensions of wellness, this is the page for you. You're going to have another pop-up saying looking for Schmoody. Schmoody is our mental health and overall wellness app that we have partnered with. We are the first university to partner with this app at this scale. So much so that we even have a little Schmoody cat that is all Texas Tech themed and all kinds of other stuff in that app. So I highly recommend downloading it. It's a really great opportunity for students to hold their wellness accountable, but also once you sign up for the account as a student, you get the premium version for life. And that's a really awesome thing. So about our dimensions of wellness, which really shows you the breakdown of what all of this is based on and what we mean when we say holistic wellness. So we break it down into these 8 dimensions of wellness. As you can see, that's made up by your social, educational, financial, physical, emotional, spiritual, environmental, and intellectual wellness. Now, although this wheel of wellness might look different for each person, the important part is to make sure that all of your dimensions of wellness are functioning at their optimum level so that your wheel can turn as efficiently as possible. You're welcome to come to our wellness coaching to learn more about this and what this might look like in your life. But if you're looking for a specific resource for a specific area, you can find all of those right here broken apart for you already. If you want to assess your own dimensions of wellness, you can take this free online assessment right here, and that can help break down what areas of your wellness you may be striving or you may be thriving in, and ones that you may need a little extra support for. So, of course, all of the things we do are done by our amazing team. Peyton Sauer is our director. Amanda McConnell is our business manager. Haley Wallace is our program manager for communication, marketing, and design. So all the design stuff that you see coming out of Rise, that's under Haley's realm. And then I'm our program manager for peer education and outreach. We've got our graduate assistants here. This would be Casey, who would be facilitating our Raider Restart and Raider Recharge courses. And once again, our lovely peer educators. So this is where you can learn more about them, learn about their specialties. And if you need to get in contact with our student org president, she is listed right here and her email as well. So this is how we make all the magic happen, is through our team. But specifically our peer educators who act as our boots on the ground, chatting with all of our students and making those connections across campus. If you're interested in being a Rise peer educator and joining our team, here are all the different perks and requirements. These applications for peer educators will be opening soon, and we hire in the spring of each year for the fall of that following spring. So if you think this matches your vibe, I would highly recommend applying because it is a fun job and you're going to learn so much about campus life, about being a student, and then about Texas Tech and the world beyond Texas Tech. If you're looking to get involved, but maybe you don't have time to take on another job, you can always volunteer with us. We have a really awesome group of volunteers who come and help us with a variety of different things. And you get a lot of different perks about when you are a RISE volunteer. So here are the perks, here are the requirements. If you feel like this is something you're interested in, I highly recommend filling out this form. If you're looking for a job, we list all of our job opportunities here. So full-time staff members, when we look for those folks, volunteers, and then peer educators. So keep an eye out for those job openings. There's multiple ways to join our team and how to get involved. If you need to contact us, here's our basic contact information and information about where to find us. We are located on Texas Tech University Lubbock campus, right across the street from the Student Union building. Or if you're on the other side near University Avenue, we're at the corner of University and 15th Street. Now to dive into our focus. So we cover a lot of different topics, including all of these under mental health when we talk about stress management, suicide prevention, and then student mental health services. When you click on these, what it's going to take you to is our basic education that we keep open and out for all students. This is a lot of information that you would get out of our presentations, but like I said, this is right here at your fingertips, and I want to make sure that you know where it's at. If you scroll down, you're going to find more resources, such as resources at Texas Tech, broken down into all the different areas of wellness, because as we've already mentioned, your wellness can be affected by all other areas of your wellness. So you want to make sure all areas are being kept up and cared for. We do substance use education for alcohol, drugs, and other substances. So if you're looking for basic alcohol or drug education, this is the spot to go. And for resources, we break it down by Texas Tech resources, by community resources or Lubbock resources, and national resources. So lots of different options here and lots of information for you to have available to you. We talk about sexual health and healthy relationships, so you can find information about sexual health and consent, healthy relationships, STI testing locations, and a condom map. So these are all the areas on Texas Tech campus that we give away free condoms and menstrual products. Specifically right here at Drain Hall outside of our office, there is a cabinet of condoms, lube, menstrual products, and other things to help keep you safe that you are welcome to come grab, and you don't have to talk to anyone. You just come grab what you need and then be on your way. For violence prevention, we've talked a little bit about all of these areas, but everything is rooted in our bystander intervention. We truly believe at RISE that if everybody knows how to be an active bystander, that is going to solve a lot of issues. Because when incidents occur, a lot of times there are people who witnessed the incident who could have stepped in and made a difference. So I want you to use this acronym to be up to date on what it means to be an active bystander. So the acronym is RAIDERS, very school spirited, but it breaks it down. So R is recognize a problem, assume responsibility, implement resources, determine a plan, engage others, respond, and sustain the culture. And we hope by always advocating for folks to be an active bystander will in turn make our campus a safer and more understanding community so that everybody feels safe to show up as their best selves and to make sure that they know that their fellow Red Raiders has their backs. So bystander intervention is really the root of everything that we do. Additionally, moving into resources, I showed you a little bit about this earlier, but this is a master resource sheet for all the resources on campus. So we've got our prevention and response resources, such as the crisis helpline, Texas Tech PD, the Title IX office, and these are going to be those prevention and responses. We've got wellness support, we've got academic support resources, and mental health services, all right here in one easy to navigate page. We also do something called the DFSCA, which is the Drug Free Schools and Community Act, which shows all of our alcohol and other drug prevention and education programs for the last several years. So if you're interested in knowing the statistics on campus and how we do alcohol and other drug prevention and education, this is where you're going to find those details. If you are looking for parent and family resources, these are this page is a huge asset to your family and parents if they want to know a little bit more about what resources you have available to you as a student. We also have reporting options, and this is so important to know how to find this. You can find it on our webpage. You can Google TTU Raters Report. There's a lot of different ways to get to this, but this is where you're going to find different reports available to you. For example, if you notice a hazing incident, that's where you would file it. Student of concern reports go to the Dean of Students, and this is a report concerning things like if you've gotten really sick and you have had to miss a lot of school, or if you had a death in the family, or maybe someone's experiencing suicidal ideation. This is going to be the best place to file that report so that that student or yourself can get connected to resources. We also have the Title IX and sexual misconduct report and student conduct report up here, and then also pregnancy and parenting. Now, this falls under reporting, but is not a report in the negative sense of the word. This is definitely just a way to help get students who are navigating being a student while they are pregnant or parenting. This is to get them connected to additional resources that are available to them and all kinds of things like that. So going back to our main page, this is pretty much all the different things that are available to you online just on our webpage. I highly recommend that you take advantage of this, but if you're looking for information or education that you're wanting to talk about, or you want more information, or you want to request a presentation, you can absolutely do all of those things. Please feel free to reach out to the RISE office at rise@ttu.edu anytime, through email, through popping into our office, through phone call, through DMing us on social media. All of these are effective ways to get in touch with us so that we can make sure that you feel supported and taken care of, and that you are set up for success during your time here at Texas Tech. But we also want to support you during your time past Texas Tech after you move on from here. So if you need anything at all, please be in touch. We are super excited to have you as a student leader here on campus. And honestly, if there is anything that we can do to support you in all of your endeavors, please reach out and let us know. All right, friends, that's all I have for you. So take care and be safe out there.